John Wooden is one of my business mentors, and I want to share how he's impacted my business. You see, I had a new client reach out recently who said, I've been watching your videos for over a year, and sometimes I would wonder why you were talking about the same things over and over, such as keeping the center stone low to the halo and setting the diamonds super close together, because I assumed all stores do this. But now that I'm ready to actually get engaged, I went to some jewelry stores locally, and because you had put in my mind for so long all the things to look for, I immediately noticed all the things that I don't want on my ring. I could clearly see the big gap between the center stone and the halo. They had small gaps between the diamonds, and all of the edges seemed really square. I hope you're able to make my dream ring using all of the techniques you talk about in your videos, and I know it will be something I will enjoy wearing forever. Yes, she is not the first person to ask why I talk about some of the same concepts over and over, but John Wooden is one of the best basketball coaches of all time, and he really inspired me. You see, my amazing dad, who he recently passed away, he got me into these inspiring athletic movies when I was younger. I'm talking all the greats. And he would talk about the coaches being at the core of creating an amazing team. So when I started studying mentors for my business and just really in life in general, John Wooden was one of them. He was named the Coach of the Century by ESPN, winning 10 National Collegiate Athletic Association national championships and a 12-year period as head coach for the UCLA Bruins. I don't know if you know this man, but I highly recommend you looking him up. I mean, he spoke about loyalty and enthusiasm and confidence and poise, just being yourself and at ease in any situation. And he spoke about friendship coming from mutual respect and devotion, just like marriage, how it can't be taken for granted, it requires joint effort. And these are only a few concepts that he talked about. But I'll never forget one thing he told Newsweek. The first thing I would show our players at our first meeting was how to take a little extra time putting on their socks and shoes properly. The most important part of your equipment is your shoes and socks. You play on a hard floor, so you must have shoes that fit right. And you must not permit your socks to have wrinkles around the little toe where you generally get blisters, or around the heels. You hold up the sock, work it around the little toe area and the heel area so that there are no wrinkles. You smooth it out good, and you tighten up the laces snugly by each eyelet, and then you tie it, and then you double tie it so it won't come undone, because I don't want shoes coming untied during practice or during the game. Now see, the reason he did all that is because he said if there are wrinkles in our socks or our shoes that aren't tied properly, you might develop blisters, and with blisters, some player might have to miss practice, and when we miss our preparation on time together, we might not be ready to play our best on game day, and if we don't play at our best level, we may not win. So it all comes down to not paying proper attention to how you put your socks and shoes on, and that's why he spoke about the foundations. Now, why do I share this? You see, when it comes to custom rings, I talk about these concepts because whether you get a ring from me or anywhere else, it's helpful for you to be able to communicate what it is you want from your jeweler. And if you don't know how to communicate it, working with someone who implements these best practices is going to benefit you. You see, a lot of people I talk with, they don't know exactly what they want, but they know how they want the ring to make them feel when they see it for the first time. So if you've seen my work and absolutely love it, these foundations are infused into my work and give it that je ne sais quoi. So that's what you got to be looking for anytime you're looking for a custom ring. The sleek claw prongs. My prong styling is meant to blend in beautifully with the facets of the center diamond, mimicking their thin triangular shape. You see, often prongs are round balls of metal, and while this is definitely a time saver when it comes to production, for something so special as a meaningful radiant cut engagement ring, it really does kick it up a notch to hand sculpt the claw prongs like this. Polishing under the diamonds. Now, this isn't something you likely would even think about because once they're set, they're set. But consider this. If dirt and grime get under the diamonds, if it's not a smooth surface that can be cleaned away easily with water or a jewelry cleaner, then it's going to get stuck in the rough crevices and look darker or dirtier, making it really hard to keep super bright as it once looked when it was new. How scratchy the smaller prongs are in between the fingers. You see, sometimes on rings, the edges of the small prongs on the shank feel rough and high between the fingers. We take extra time to soften our prong edges to minimize snagging and scratching. In fact, I test out each ring on my finger to see how it feels as a woman, and I also rub it against a sweater to see if any fibers catch. And that's not to say it never will, it just certainly minimizes it from happening, if at all. Our signature seamless halo. Now, if your design is a halo ring, then this is a way to really make that center diamond pop. I've done many videos on our seamless halos over the last decade, but it's worth repeating here. Minimizing the gap between the halo and the main diamond will prevent your eye from focusing focusing on a dark shadow around your diamond once it's set. The comfort fit shank. This means the edges of the inside of the shank are slightly rounded for more comfort, especially if you're not used to wearing rings and plan to wear yours every day. My clients really appreciate this technique. Now, it's easier to take a flat sanding stick and polish the sides flat to a 90-degree angle, which is common in mass manufactured settings or even some custom pieces I've seen. But as someone who is sensitive to sharp edges when I grip things like a steering wheel or doorknob, I prefer for it to feel buttery smooth inside my ring. There are incredible jewelers out there who absolutely want to make your dream ring come true. So being able to communicate what it is that you want is going to be massively helpful. You see, here's the thing. 95% of people won't place an importance on these foundations because they don't even know to look for them. It all starts in the design stage when we're working together on the computer model of your ring. That's where I add all my special refinements. We get so many messages about how helpful these videos are, and if you would like to see more of them, please like this video, comment about your favorite part, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that. And if you're looking for your very own custom ring, feel free to reach out to the studio. I would love to learn more about what you're looking to create, and I would absolutely love to exceed your expectations with it. I create gorgeous custom rings for clients all over the world, and no matter where you ultimately get your ring, my goal is for you to be 100% thrilled by it. So while you're searching for the perfect ring, keep the foundations in mind. And if you're not certain what to look for that will get the absolute knockout reaction that I know you want from her, just make sure that whoever you're planning to work with will do it for you without you even having to ask. And in the meantime, I'm wishing for you a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.